I am going to teach you by the end of this video what your attachment style is if you're not aware of it, and what you do to sabotage your relationship. I used to, when I was going through my last heartbreak, I studied this stuff very heavily. I was not aware of this, and now I am. This is why I'm saying I'm gonna help educate you so you know exactly like what you are and what you're doing. This way you can either get help, or you're gonna know what not to do in your next relationship so you can make that one long term. I've got a statistic right here that I want to share with you before I talk about the attachment. There's secure, there's anxious, and there's avoidant. Right here is going to be according to attachment theory research by Bowlby and Ainsworth, roughly 50% of the population is secure, which is what we want to be, while the rest fall into categories that often sabotage relationships. Now, when it comes to the insecure ones, there's anxious, there's dismissive avoidant, and fearful avoidant. I'm going to be talking about those two as just an avoidant. I'm not going to go like the differences, because to me they're all avoidant, if I'm being honest with you. Fearful avoidant is a mixture of anxious and avoidant, depending on what their partner is. If their partner is going to be anxious, they're going to be more dismissive. If their partner is going to be avoidant, they're going to be more like on the fearful anxiety side of avoidant, but it's both avoidant. Okay. Now, I'm assuming you're a guy watching this, my man. If you want to understand women, become a better man, and have more relationships, I've got 15 years of experience with girls, dog. I know I can fucking help you. Subscribe to the channel, my man. That way you can stick around. So let's talk about secure first. Secure partners, this is the way I see it, okay? Remember this moving forward. Whatever you tolerate, you invite more of. So if you're secure and you send your partner a text message and a couple hours go by and you haven't heard back from them, you're not going to double text them. You're going to wait for them to text you back. Secure partners, they love themselves. They're okay in a relationship or out of a relationship. That's really what it comes down to. I had to work towards getting more secure. I looking at my childhood, which is where your attachment styles come from anyways, is how your parents grew up and raised you, what you saw. I leaned more anxious. My last girlfriend that I had, she is definitely avoidant. At the time of filming this, her and I got into texting a little bit, and after this has been like 2 years now, but this, without going into the back reason of why we're texting, I haven't heard from her in almost 7 days now, and she asked me to do something for her, which you would think that would, I did it, and I haven't heard back from her. So that's she was more avoidant, and this is one of the things that avoidants do. But if you're secure, you're okay with them or you're without them, because you were raised that people who want to be in your life, they're going to make the effort to be in your life. So this right here, not taking, I don't know if I'm ever going to hear from her again or not. I don't know. But if I do, whatever, we'll take things from there. But if your partner disappears on you for a couple days, that's not acceptable, especially if you're in a relationship. That's not okay. A secure partner is going to be able to like set a boundary and say, hey, if you do that again, we're going to have issues. And like I said, whatever you tolerate, you invite more of. So if I hear from this girl again, even though we're not in a relationship, I'm still contemplating if it's even worth bringing that up or not, because it's like I just don't know. But secure partners, that's really all it. But we need to go into the anxious and avoidant. This is where most of you, where you're going to fall at. We're going to talk about anxious. So if you're anxious, then this is what you're going to want to pay attention to. And then I'll go over into what the avoidants do. Hopefully you are more anxious, because anxious people in general, they're capable of actually receiving love, and they're closer to secure partners. So if you're anxious, then there is some good news. But if you look at what anxious people do, there's one thing that I had to learn about being anxious myself, and I saw this. I remember my mom used to do this, and I didn't know. And I grew up doing the same thing with my girlfriends. I didn't know what it was. But the number one thing that anxious people do, and look at your behavior and see if you've done this, it's called protest behavior. Every single time my girlfriend and I would get into an argument, I would subconsciously, without even thinking, be like, dude, can we please go fucking see other people? Like, what? Just, this is ridiculous, man. We keep having like the same argument. I would keep saying like, can we see other people? Can we break up? Like, this isn't working. I would do that without even thinking about it. Why? because I was looking for her to fight for the relationship. No, I don't want to see other people. I want to be with you. That's what I was looking for. And I didn't even know it until I started studying it. My mom, with her last boyfriend, she's got a good guy now. But with the last boyfriend, I remember my mom told me she broke up with that guy expecting him to fight for the relationship, and he didn't. So my mom broke up with him hoping to protest, I'm going to do something because I want you to fight for my love. That's where I got it from, was my mom. And I used to do that stuff with her, my ex, all the time, and I didn't know what I was doing. In the moment, I was like, dude, fuck this. It sucks. But now I'm looking back, I'm like, that's exactly what I was doing. Other traits too, if you're somebody right now that ever like double text, triple text, quadruple text, and then you call them, if you like text your partner, text your boyfriend, girlfriend, I don't know, I'm just saying that your partner, if that's what if you're texting them, I'm gonna say it's her. If you're texting her and you don't hear from her within like an hour, and then you fucking text her again, you're double texting. You're double texting her, trying to get a response from her. You're like, hello, I'm sitting in silence right now. I'm not okay being by myself. Where are you? Do you love me? That's what you're doing. This is why, and I did this, and I had to learn. I had to learn, and I tell men, so I'm gonna tell you, you never, ever, ever, ever double text a girl, ever. There's multiple reasons for that, but in the sake of this video, attachment styles, it's because we don't want to, like, it's, if you looked at your phone and your girlfriend sent you like 9 text messages within like 2 hours, wondering where you were, but you were at work, and you're like, oh my god, you're gonna look at that. Like, if I look at all my notifications right now, and that's my girlfriend, I'm like, oh my god, dude, like, I was literally at work. Now I gotta go and I gotta like diffuse this bomb that just went off. That's gonna push them away. That's gonna make them feel like suffocated. They're gonna get frustrated, and they're gonna get like upset, and they're gonna start associating feeling bad with you. That's why you never, in this situation, you never want to double text your girlfriend. So protest behavior, and then you're trying to get her to prove to you that she loves you, because you're unsure where you guys stand. You might know she loves you, but if she doesn't prove it to you over and over, like reassurance is what I was trying to say, you're not going to be okay. That's anxious. That's why you're going to push your partner away. So what you want to do if you're anxious is the opposite of avoidant. What you want to do is, if your anxiety starts flaring and you want to text her, you want to call her because your like nervous system's freaking out, whatever you do, my man, do not act on that feeling. If you text her and it's been 4 hours, it's been almost 7 days, and I haven't heard from this girl yet, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, dude, I'm like, what the hell? Where'd you just disappear to? I know you're my ex, and I'm talking away like more other girls, but I'm like, we were in the middle of a conversation. It's kind of rude that you just disappeared on me, especially when you asked me to do something pretty sentimental for you. But I'm using this as an example because even though we're not dating, that still goes through my head because I've got a history with this girl. You cannot act on that feeling. This is how you fix the anxious attachment to get more secure. Now, if you're avoidant, like this girl is, this is the anxious-avoidant relationship. Okay? Normal love is like this. Anxious-avoidant is like this. Anxious wants love, gets closer. Avoidant is afraid of love, runs away. And it repeats like that. That is not a healthy relationship. Avoidant people became avoidant because their parents hurt them in some way, whether they were abused emotionally, physically, sexually, or their parents weren't there for them, like emotionally. Like, for example, I've heard this one when I was studying this, that if your parents ever told you, I'll give you something to cry about, they're basically telling you it's not okay to get emotional. So you're going to be raised that, well, it's not okay to be emotional. And I'm here to tell you right now, if you want to get emotional, like if you're going through a breakup and you want to cry or yell or whatever, dude, do it. Do it. Emotions are your body's way of telling you what's right and what's wrong. That our subconscious mind communicates through emotions, and we might think we're in control of our lives, most of the time. Like, I'm sitting here filming YouTube videos. I think I know that I chose to do this, but my subconscious mind is what's really running the show. But most people don't know that. But I study the brain in this stuff, so I know that. Now, anxious or avoidant people, because their first relationship with their parents was bad, that if you look at the history of these people, so if you're dating girls that have cheated on you, that have verbally abused you, they just treated you like shit, like that, you're that's what you're used to. So you're gonna keep dating girls like that. You're gonna date girls that just disappear on you, so you have to be the one chasing them and double texting them. You're reinforcing that behavior. That's why with this girl, she disappeared on me. I'm never texting her again until she reaches out to me. She will never hear from me again, ever, because I know I've learned how to overcome that anxiety. But avoidant people ruin relationships like this because they push their partner away. This girl told me I was the best boyfriend she's ever had. So if you can imagine a girl that's never received true healthy love gets true healthy love from me, her nervous system is going to freak out and she's going to push me away. Our entire relationship, when I moved in with her, I saw her physically creating distance from me every chance she got. The only way to ever fix an avoidant attachment style is to, when your partner wants to get close, your partner wants affection, your partner wants love. I get you're used to being like hurt, and like you might, like this girl dated some guys and 2 guys in the past. I'm not going to talk about that. Weren't the best boyfriends. And now I can understand why she's more avoidant. I get it. I see it now. That's all she knows. And if you date girls like that, again, I'm assuming you're a guy, I'm talking to you. If you date girls that treat you like shit, well, you're going to like think like, dude, I want love. I want to have a girlfriend. But every time I get into one, I always get screwed over. And women are very affectionate when they love you. Women want your attention all the time when they love you. So if you are avoidant and your partner wants to get close, your normal response is to run away. And I told you, if you're anxious, you don't want to act on that feeling. But if you're avoidant, you want to instead, I guess you're not acting either way, now that I think about it. Because if you acted on that feeling, you would run away. And if you acted on that feeling, if you were anxious and you acted on that feeling, you would double text. But if you're avoidant and you acted on that feeling, you would create distance. So if your partner's trying to get close to you, let them get close. Let them kiss you. Let them touch you. Let them hug you, hold you, cuddle you. Let them hold their hand. PDA out in public. Let them do that. It's going to be uncomfortable, but this is exposure therapy. The more times this happens, the less your anxiety is going to flare, and you're going to start seeing, hey, Mitchell's right. The only way I'm going to fix this avoidant attachment style is by letting my fucking girlfriend actually come closer to me and actually love me. Avoidant partners are so good at like keeping relationships long term because they create that distance just naturally. And whenever, women have time and space, or any partner, guy or girl, whenever someone has time and space away from you and they want to see you, they're going to try to get closer. The avoidant people make secure people anxious. That's how fucked up this attachment style is. It's so unhealthy. These people want to be loved, but when they get love, they push it away. And that cycle repeats until they find videos like mine that tell them this is what you're doing. You need to face that fear, or they get therapy or help. But a lot of avoidant people don't even know they're avoidant, because if you think about it, that's how they were raised. So to them, that's normal. But to me, it's not. That's why I'm saying, if you watching this right now, if you're avoidant or you just figured it out, big congratulations, man. That's a good first step. Now from there, you got to let your girlfriend get close. I mean, like, you want sex anyways. So it's like, other than sex, I mean, like, you might get intimate with this girl, and then when you're finished, when you get off, you might push her away immediately. Don't do that. How about you sit there and like hold her for a little bit and just embrace that feeling, show her you care, get close to her. Because avoidant people, from my understanding, they're more like casual daters, or they're the biggest cheaters, but they're also the biggest like casual daters. There's more avoidant people in the dating market, from my understanding, than anything else. Just again, because getting close is very scary for them. And if that's you, well, that's how you fix it. So that's going to be the video. Okay? So I just told you, like, we want to get to secure. And if you're anxious, The way to get to secure is by not acting on that anxiety and forcing your partner to reassure you. And if you're avoidant, the way to get to secure would be to letting your partner get closer. I don't know if you're ever going to get secure if you're avoidant, but the easiest way to become secure is by just letting you get loved. That's really it. I'm not avoidant. I don't know what it's like to live an avoidant experience. So I know I can't relate with you personally, but I do understand this on a very deep level. There's a book called Attached that you want to read. That's a very good book. I'm a coach, Craig Kenneth. If you watch his videos from like 8 years ago when Margaret was still alive, those are phenomenal. Those are phenomenal. So when I talk about attachment styles, I always bring up that YouTube channel because him and Margaret taught me a lot about attachment styles. But if you like this video, man, please like, comment, and subscribe and listen. If you want my help personally, bro, just becoming a better man, becoming more confident, getting better social skills, talking to more girls, going on more dates, having more sex, giving more relationships, more money, better man, I can help you do that. I am so good at just helping men get what they want in life. That's why I have this channel. Click that link down below and you can book a free time to speak with me if you want to work with me for 8 weeks. I just get a consultation call to see if I can even help you. And if I can, bro, I'm taking on the first 3 men for absolutely free in exchange for a video testimonial at the end of our 8 weeks together. After that, it's going to be $19.97, big dog. So if you think I can help you, book that call with me. Let's talk, before these fill up, because they're going to fill up fast. And with that being said, hey, if you want to understand, women or relationships for free, then check out one of these 2 videos right here. And hey, I'll see you in the next one.